Welcome back to another video. Thanks for stopping by. This is Death Stranding 2 running on the PlayStation 5 Pro. So let me talk about Death Stranding for a minute. I was not a fan of the original Death Stranding. I did not and I do not like a gameplay loop of pick this up, walk or drive it here, and drop it off, and then do that over again. I didn't find the gameplay loop of, read the terrain. Or, hold yourself upright so you don't fall over while you're carrying these packages. I didn't find that compelling. If you did, enjoy it. I certainly didn't expect this kind of a gameplay loop in the first Death Stranding from Hideo Kojima. But I will say that as somebody who's played almost every genre of video game, because I'm very old and I've been playing video games since video games, it's difficult to find something that is new or different. And when it comes to different, Death Stranding is definitely that. So you have to give it credit for that. The story is crazy. The world is insane. The characters are great, compelling at times. So all of that is a plus when it comes to Death Stranding. And with Death Stranding 2, it is just an incredible looking game on the PlayStation 5 Pro. There's no doubt about it. It is probably one of, if not, and I don't know, because for me, graphics and photorealism and this AAA thing really aren't my bag, baby. But it's probably one of, if not the best looking game graphically right now. What I will say about Death Stranding 2 is a lot of the things that I didn't like about Death Stranding 1, like, the gameplay loop, a lot of the things that are on offer in Death Stranding 2 happen much sooner than they did in Death Stranding 1. So you're not going to wait a long time to drive a vehicle. You're not going to wait a long time to use a gun or to craft things. It happens immediately in Death Stranding 2. There's more given to you to do at a much sooner time in Death Stranding 2 than there was in the first game. So when it comes to the gameplay, right, you're delivering these packages, but in between the deliveries, when you're out in the open world, that's where the gameplay proper is supposed to take place. So I don't know if they were going for like emergent gameplay or you're supposed to find it yourself, but there were times where I literally just circumvented everything and just went to the destination. Then there are times where, I want to get into stealth or attacking the people who are attacking me or infiltrate something. And it just never really felt great to me. Do you know what I mean? You have to dig really, really deep to find the gameplay mechanics for Death Stranding 2. They don't really present themselves to you in a way. And I'm not saying that's a bad gameplay design mechanic or anything like that. I'm just giving you my opinion when I played this game. So, digging into the UI, trying to find out even how to use the UI, it's still very cumbersome. And, you're getting all these new tools earlier in the game than you did in the first game, but you're not really being told how to use them. You're not really being given a mission immediately that utilizes that new tool or new gadget that you have. It's up to you to really dig into the UI, to dig into all these things that you have and just try and figure out what to do with them or do anything with them. It's up to you. And I get it. Some people like that. I just didn't like that loop in a huge open world. I found myself completely distracted at times or just sitting there scratching my head why do I have this cannon that shoots tar and they're not telling me what to do with it? There's no mission to use it. There's really no incentive to use any of these gadgets that I have other than just to play around with them in the open world if I want to. And I don't really like that design philosophy. Personally. Now, I know a lot of people like the game and that's great. And hopefully the game does better than the first one. Look, the first one did well enough to get a sequel. So you can't say that the game didn't reach people because if it didn't, you wouldn't get a sequel. But I do have a love-hate relationship with this game. I like the world. I like exploring it. There are times I like just existing in it and walking around and looking at things, but I just don't find the gameplay loop or the mechanics as compelling as I feel like they should be. I don't think I could remember a game where I had this love-hate relationship as strongly as I do with Death Stranding and Death Stranding 2. And maybe that's a testament to how different this game is. And I'm not trying to knock it for being different, but I am saying that we're talking about a game. We're talking about video games. And the game part for me, I'm not saying it isn't there. I see people, finding these things to do in Death Stranding 2 that look really cool. But that's the issue I have. You really have to find those things. They're not really presented to you in a fun way that's compelling for me. So let me know what you think in the comments section below. Thanks for watching this video. I know I'll probably be the outlier when it comes to Death Stranding. I like the game. If I had to give it a score, I would say it's definitely higher than an 8, but it's much, much lower than like a 9.5. So somewhere between an 8 and an 8.5. A 9 is kind of pushing it because, like I said, I don't feel that it's mainstream enough for most gamers to jump into and really have a good time. I think you got to work really hard at it. But again, just my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.